Welcome to my third video of the day, because I will be uploading every day in May, and so I needed to get ahead of it with work and stuff. So I thought if I did 3 today, then that's 3 days worth at least. So what we're going to focus on today is the early signs and symptoms of pregnancy, because when you're trying to conceive, you just want to know, don't you? You want to know right now, like this instance, today, this second. So, like I've said in the previous implantation video, which I'll link below, that it's important during the trying to conceive stage that you get to know your body and your cycle, sorry, itchy chin, and you have to make note of what is normal for you, what normally occurs, what symptoms happen before the period's due. In the 2 weeks running up to your period, you usually get sort of cramps, cravings, tender breasts, headaches, migraines, sometimes nausea, anemia. All these wonderful things that God has blessed us women with is what we get. So, it's important to make note of what is normal for you so that you can filter through that and find the signs and symptoms that are not normal for you, which could indicate pregnancy. These are the top 10 early signs of pregnancy. So, number 1 is boob hurt. They hurt like fuck. Okay, so for me, on the run up to my period, they get a little bit sore, but I really don't notice that they're that sore unless I accidentally bang one of them against something, which is a legit thing, people. I've hit these babies on doors and stuff, door frames, so many times, it's unreal. Or if they are grabbed by one of my children trying to get my attention, like mum, or by my partner, and that's the only time when I notice. Like other times, like just prodding them, like I'm on now, this doesn't hurt, but that would like seriously harm some women. So like I said, you got to know what's normal for you. So when I was pregnant, the early sign for me is if these babies were so sore I couldn't even put a bra on, and that happened with my second pregnancy. Braless for days. So number 2, I was going to do it with both hands then, but it kind of looked like 4, so we're going to do it with the 1. Nipple darkening. Now, mine are dark anyway. They're like 2 burgers in a Happy Meal. So this doesn't make any sense to me. They don't really change colour. I never noticed. But for most people, they're nice and pink. Nice and pink. Not for me. I'm so jealous of you guys. So if you notice any darkening, like they go like a dark purple or a sort of beigey brown colour, that is an indicator. Which brings us to number 3, which is fatigue. So unfortunately, if you're like me, you may not notice this one at all because your anemia will camouflage it because you're already so freaking tired anyway that you won't even know that you're more tired. It just doesn't make any sense. Like maybe you'll drink twice as much coffee. I don't know. But fatigue is a big one. So if you don't normally suffer from fatigue or it's not extensive, you will notice this one because according to other women who have normal anemia-free periods, they get super tired. Super quick. Number 4 is headaches, because it's the hormone shift in your body. There'll be like a hormone imbalance before it balances itself out again, and this can cause headaches and migraines, which is obviously super fantastic. So this happened with me, and all 3 of mine, I would start to suffer from these horrendous migraines that would then transfer themselves into extremely lucid dreams. I say dreams, I mean nightmares. And they'd all sort of bundle together. So we'll say headaches and lucid evil dreams are number 4. Number 5 is cramping. So again, some people get really intense cramping and some people get really light cramping. And I find that if you had intense cramping, it usually feels lighter. And if you have light cramping, this feels a little bit more intense because there's something burrowing into your uterus and attaching itself and then growing. So, yay. Number 6. Number 6 is nausea. Most people don't experience this until they hit the sort of 12 to 14 week mark, but if you are like me and your body hates you, you will experience this like that. Like it will come before you even know you're pregnant. You will feel ill. be a while maybe before the actual puking starts, but you will feel like you want to throw up all the time, especially when you smell weird things. Which brings me to number 7, which is a heightened sense of smell and taste. So, where this might work out in your favour and you smell and taste things that you really like and develop cravings, or, like me, become completely addicted to smelling bars of soap. If anybody knows what Shield soap is, it's available in Asda, it's green, and it's what is referred to as caravan soap. If you smell it, you'll know why. And now, as a non-pregnant woman, it's gross. As a pregnant woman, I carried a bar around in my handbag and I would sniff it. And I wasn't even ashamed to get it out and sniff it. Once you could see that I was pregnant and I had a belly, I was like, this is totally normal. You will accept what is happening. I'm going to sniff my soap. Even took it to scans with me. Sniffed it. But calmed my anxiety down as well, you know. Did debate eating it at one point, but was talked out of that one, thank God. Which brings me to number 8, which is implantation bleeding. I will link my implantation bleeding videos below so that you know what it is, what to expect, and what can happen. But it is basically usually a very light bleeding that occurs when a fertilised egg burrows its way into the lining of your uterus, the lining which would otherwise give away when you come on your period. So usually very light in colour, light brown or light pink, and happens 2 weeks, like up to 2 weeks before your period is due or around the time that your period is due. And that brings me to number, wait, what number does that bring me to? 8? I don't know, we're lost now, I'm just going to start saying things. I'm lost. A darkening of the labia. For those of you who want to look at your lady parts because you're that desperate to conceive, and I have been there twice. There's no shame in it. What used to be pink and squidgy turns into like a purpley mess. It can sometimes get a little bit swollen. It's a little bit uncomfortable to look at, like, oh, it's kind of like when, you know, like the first couple of days of your period where your face just blows up like mine is now, and you get like this whole like, spots, and you feel really uncomfortable looking at yourself in the mirror. That's kind of what it's like when you have to investigate. So, but anyway, it darkens in colour much like your nipples, but if like me you have dark nipples and so you cannot judge based on this, you're going to have to go down there if you're desperate to know. Which brings me to number whatever, which is unusual cravings. And I did just mention the soap, that was my craving, just smelling it. So cravings can be smelling and eating things, but basically I was addicted to fruit and pop. Like I had to try and find low caffeinated pops, you know, like lemonade and Sprite and stuff, when really I just really wanted a cola. And that was it, like, it was just pop, mainly, fruit, loads of fruit, and the smelly soap that I did debate eating just once, twice, I don't know. He talked me out of it, I didn't eat it. I nibbled it, tiny nibble, it tastes great. Anyway, so, oh yeah. Another one that I did talk about, even though this is a top 10 and I've done all 10, I will add a bonus one. I did talk about it in the headaches thing, which is like lucid dreams and that. Because of the hormone change and all that kind of stuff that gives you the headaches and the nausea and everything like that, it can cause really lucid dreams. Like not just terrifyingly lucid where you're trapped in another world and you don't know how to get out, but the kind of lucid that you think is real, like you dream about getting up and getting ready, doing your makeup and walking out the door to work or whatever, and then you actually wake up, realise none of that has happened, and you are so late. So late. That happened to me so many times. Of course, that is it. That was the 10 top signs and symptoms of early pregnancy with the bonus 11. That's supposed to be an 11. But the only sure way to tell is obviously to take a test, either after your period is late, or the special test that you can get and can take up to 4 days before, or you can just totally wait until your period will be over and then take one, or you can go to the doctor and request a GP ordered blood test, which will tell you for definite and I think you can do that like 2 days before, although your GP probably wouldn't let that happen. They would want you to be late on your period. So those are my top 10 signs and symptoms. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please comment below. I will link my implantation bleeding video below as well for you guys to check out. And I hope that this was helpful for you and that you're all as insane as me when it comes to trying to conceive and are not shy about looking at your own lady parts to get the answers that you want. Okay, thanks for watching.